Freya and Odur. Freya, the golden-haired and blue-eyed goddess, was also at times considered a personification of the earth. As such, she married Odur, a symbol of the summer sun, whom she dearly loved, and by whom she had 2 daughters, Hnos and Gursemi. These maidens were so beautiful that all things lovely and precious were called by their names. While Odur lingered contentedly at her side, Freya was smiling and perfectly happy. But alas, the god was a rover at heart, and, wearying of his wife's company, he suddenly left home and wandered far into the wide world. Freya, sad and forsaken, wept abundantly, and her tears fell upon the hard rocks, which softened at their contact. We are told that they trickled down to the very center of the stones, where they were transformed into gold. Some tears fell into the sea and were changed into translucent amber. Weary of her widowed condition, and longing to clasp her beloved in her arms once more, Freya finally started out in search of him, passing through many lands, where she became known by different names, such as Mardel, Horn, Geffen, Seer, Skjalf, and Thrung, inquiring of all she met whether her husband had passed that way, and shedding everywhere so many tears that gold is to be found in all parts of the earth. And Freya came nigh with golden tears, the loveliest goddess, she in heaven by all. Most honored after Freya, Odin's wife, her long ago the wandering Odur took, to mate but left her to roam distant lands. Since then she seeks him and weeps tears of gold. Names hath she many, Venedis on earth. They call her, Freya is her name in heaven. Balder Dead by Matthew Arnold. Far away in the sunny south, under the flowing myrtle trees, Freya found Odur at last, and her love being restored to her, she was happy and smiling once again, and as radiant as a bride. It is perhaps because Freya found her husband beneath the flowering myrtle that northern brides to this day wear myrtle in preference to the conventional orange wreath of other climates. Hand in hand, Odur and Freya now gently wended their way home once more, and in the light of their happiness, the grass grew green, the flowers bloomed, and the birds sang, for all nature sympathized as heartily with Freya's joy as it had mourned with her when she was in sorrow. Out of the morning land, over the snowdrifts, beautiful Freya came, tripping to scoring. White were the moorlands and frozen before her, green were the moorlands and blooming behind her. Out of her gold locks, shaking the spring flowers, out of her garments shaking the south wind, around in the birches, awaking the throstles. And making chaste housewives all long for their hero's home, loving and love-giving, she came to scoring. The Longbeard Saga, Charles Kingsley. The prettiest plants and flowers in the north were called Freya's hair, or Freya's eye dew, where the butterfly was called Freya's hen. This goddess was also supposed to have a special affection for the fairies, whom she loved to watch dancing in the moonbeams, and for whom she reserved her daintiest flowers and sweetest honey. Odur, Freya's husband, besides being considered a personification of the sun, was also regarded as an emblem of passion, or of the intoxicating pleasures of love, so the ancients declared that it was no wonder his wife could not be happy without him. So that was Freya and Odur, the third section of Chapter 10 of Myths of the Norsemen by Helene A Guerber, Freya. I will be working my way through this book section by section, and if there are any other public domain books that you would like for me to read, please leave a comment below. Did you enjoy this video? Then subscribe for more, and be sure to check me out on Facebook and Patreon. Thank you for listening, and have a lovely evening.